Hey, what's up guys? This is Sean from Ghost Malone EDC. Today I want to do a video because it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video and I've been super busy. That's why I haven't posted another one yet since my first video. But today I want to do a pocket unload, kind of the stuff that I carry every day, kind of never changes. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and go with the first thing. You can probably see it on my wrist, but it's my G-Shock. I wear it every day. Used to wear an Apple Watch, but I didn't really use the features on the Apple Watch. It's pretty pointless to me. So I traded a knife for a couple different G-Shocks to a buddy of mine. It was a pretty good trade. My knife was pretty beat up. His watches aren't in a great shape, but you know, it works. Tells the time, tells the date. It's all I really need to know. It's waterproof. This ring, it's always on me. Doesn't really matter. So everything's kind of out of my pocket already, sitting on the table in front of me. You can't see it clearly. But in my back left pocket, I carry this Viperade pouch. This Viperade pouch also doubles as my wallet, and it never changes. Everything in here stays in here. It does not at all. I don't change anything out. This is the stuff that I keep in here, and there's reasons that I keep all this stuff in here. But the first thing that I have in here is Phoenix E12. This is the V1. The V2 has a pocket clip. I carry a pouch. I don't need a pocket clip. It's a flashlight. It does exactly what I need it to do. It's got a couple different settings. If you don't want to use the button on the back, you can twist it off, turn it to the other settings. But that stays in there. I carry a Hinderer investigator pin. It's pretty small, pretty compact. I like it, use it every day at work. It's just a simple screw off, takes Fisher space pen refills. The cap does screw onto the back when you're not using the cap. And it does have a pointed pressure pointer, punch, whatever. I'm sure that if you needed to stick somebody with that, if you press hard enough, I'm sure that you could penetrate them in a way they do not want to be penetrated. But that's that. I also carry in this pouch Benchmade 940. I carry the Benchmade 940 in this pouch because it not only matches the color scheme, but it's a pretty tried, true, and tested knife. Benchmade did not go wrong with this knife. I haven't done anything fancy with this knife. It's just stock. I've ran it over the stone a couple times just to kind of get a little bit more of a razor edge on there, but that stays in there. I have this CRKT knife maintenance tool. It has a bunch of different, you know, knife maintenance stuff you can use. A bunch of different driver bits and whatnot. My girlfriend got me this for Christmas. I think it was like 25 bucks on Amazon. Basically, just pull one of those off, pull this end off, stick it in there. It's magnetic, and you have a little driver. In case you get a pivot screw that's loose, you know, need to tighten up a clip. I don't know. I've never really ran into any problems other than maybe having to tighten up a pivot screw or loosen a little bit. I also have the first Ghost Malone EDC pry bar. This is what I'm going to be releasing through my company, Ghost Malone EDC. I've been carrying this one for about a year. The production ones will be more symmetrical than this. As you can see, the symmetry is off. I did all this by hand with a file on a vise. It was the first one I made. I did make another one of these that I had thought about as a design. I had what I would call a skull crusher on the back. I completely did away with that. I didn't think that it was necessary. And on top of that, the only way you could hold it would be like this. If you had to hit somebody with it, if you put your thumb there, it's going to hurt your thumb more than it was just pointless. I've used this for all sorts of things. I've used it with a hammer as a chisel. I've used this to break into my own house when I locked myself out of my house. Because like I said, this pouch is always on me. So luckily I had this with me. I've put a lot of force on this. I've used a breaker bar with it. It's all heat treated by me, made out of 1/2 inch thick stainless steel. I'm not going to change anything other than everything being symmetrical on the production run of these. I was expecting to have them out by March, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. It's probably going to be more mid-April, early May, before any of that happens. You can stick it on a keychain if you wanted to. I did throw that little bit in there. But yeah, this is a really good tool. I'm really surprised that it held up how it is. And considering I used it with as a chisel before, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of damage on the end of that. So I think the heat treat came out pretty good. Yeah, so that's that. That's something that will be released hopefully in the next couple months if things work out right. So that's always on me, this pouch. Always. My left side pocket, front side pocket, I always have the American Service knife. Pre-production #1, made by Medford knives. This is not your daddy's scout knife. This thing is a friggin' monster. I love this thing. I am completely infatuated with everything about this knife. In case you didn't see any of my previous video, everything on this is made out of S45V in the tools, the back springs, the screws, and it has titanium liners. Everything on this is completely 100% modular. Everything can be changed out. If you want to run 3 blades, you can run 3 blades. If you want to run 1 blade, you can run 1 blade. It can go from 2 tiers down to 1 tier, up to 3 tiers. It's going to be a game changer whenever it gets released. Right now, I'm still the only person that has it. I have no idea when it's going to be released. I have no ties to Medford other than the fact that I won this knife. So that's that. I'm also waiting on stuff just like the rest of society is for this. I ordered some extra parts and I can't get them until Medford releases the knives. So there's that. In my front right side pocket, I carry Benchmade Bugout. This one has Flytanium scales and copper and a Flytanium thumb stud. This to me, other than this knife, is the fucking perfect knife. It's not the perfect knife with the grivery handles, and a lot of people don't see, buying a $127 knife and then buying $70 scales to change it out. They don't see the value in that, but to me, there's a lot of value in that. Just because I've carried a Bugout for a long time, and I really, really, really love this knife a lot. I will always carry one of these. I know it's 3 knives I've mentioned that I carry, and there's a reason. Like I said, this never changes. This one, I carry it for the tools that are on it. I like it, so it easily fits in the pocket. It's out of the way, and then this is kind of like my daily user. But the reason that I have this one in here and I still carry the other 2 is if I'm going out somewhere here where I live, and me and my fiance are going out for drinks and something like that, security around here wands your pockets, right? And if you whip a knife out, oh, hey, what's that in your pocket? Oh, I got a knife. Oh, you need to go take that back out to your car, all right? I run into that quite often until I started carrying a pouch. And when you get wanded and, this isn't where everybody lives, this just happens to be where I live, but what's in your back pocket? I pull this out and I'm like, it's my wallet. I usually flip it around and I'm like, I just got a pocket knife, my pen, my flashlight, and a couple tools in here. They seem to not give a shit, and they just let you in. There's not, go take that knife back out to the car. It's all right, come on in. So that's the reason that this stuff this knife specifically stays in there, because it fits in there. And yeah, it's just never a problem getting it in. And the Benchmade on 940 is a good knife. It's one of the few knives that Benchmade didn't go wrong on. They've been pretty lackluster to me lately. That's just my own opinion. If I'm not carrying the Bugout, I do carry a knife that I never thought that I would carry, but it's a SOG. This is a SOG Flash AT. It was a gift from my son. It is spring assisted. It's in D2 steel. The handle feels amazing. I got a lot of handle there, and I really like it. I like this jimping on the back. The D2 is really easy to keep sharp or to resharpen. The blade shape is very, very similar to the Bugout, so I like that. Almost the same size, so I like that about it. I don't carry this often. I'm not a fan of the blue. I might dye these black, but like I said, it was a gift from my son, so I do carry it strictly because it was a gift. The deep carry pocket clip sits really deep in the pocket. I do really like that from this particular knife from SOG. It's real nice. And then it has Axis style locks to close it back up, and it also has this little locking mechanism. I guess they put that safety feature on there for people that aren't familiar with knives, or to make you feel safer. But honestly, I mean, it is not going to open up in your pocket. Back right side, normally I carry extra clip. So, and then normally back here on, my holster, I'm sure you can guess what I'm probably going to pull out next, but it would be my CCW. I do keep it one in the chamber. This is a Taurus G2C9. I really, really like this gun. I like the size of the gun. For $279, you cannot go wrong with this gun. I've owned 10mm 1911s. I've owned CZ45s. This gun does the same thing those guns do. It shoots bullets. That's all you need it to do. It's accurate. It works every time. It hasn't failed me. Hasn't failed me during rapid fire. Hasn't failed me on cold days. It's just a really, really, really good gun. I have no complaints about it. The one thing that I did change when I bought this gun, it's very easy to take apart clearly, was the guide rod. The guide rod that comes on this gun is polymer, and it's a single spring. I opted to get a machined stainless guide rod with dual springs. I opted that right off the bat, knew I didn't want the polymer, knew that sometimes polymer guide rods has problems with the spring slipping, and it can jam your gun up. So I never even fired this pistol with that guide rod in there until I got this guide rod. So yeah, then it just locks back into place. Really easy. This is actually going to change come Friday. I'm going to get the Glock 43, which is, honestly, it's very, very similar. I just feel like I have a tiny bit more real estate that feels better in my hand with the Glock than I do with this. This is perfect. I mean, I have no complaints about it. I just like the feeling of the Glock handle better. So that's that. And yeah, it does everything. Some people do have some complaints with this particular firearm, that it doesn't have any of the gripping up here. From my experience shooting this gun, I'm actually kind of glad it doesn't, just because it doesn't have really strong recoil, but there still is recoil. And I think that would rub you kind of raw in the webbing of your hand if it had a lot of this this gripping there. There's enough on there everywhere that it literally, it's not going to slip out of your hand. It's a good firearm. It does have the trigger safety and an external safety. So I will say the sights aren't great. They're kind of a lot like Glock sights right off the bat. So if you're not, you know, familiar with Glock sights, it's just 3 white dots. It's just 3 white dots. Nothing special. No night sights, no nothing. It does me just fine. I have no problem hitting targets, but it might not be everybody's particular forte. So that's pretty much everything I carry every day. My next video will probably be a review on the Glock 43 when I get it. And I'm going to throw a knife review in there too on some of the other knives that I have. Might be on the Bugout, and why I like the Bugout so much, I'm not real sure. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks, guys.